Hello, this is William with Allegory Gallery Interviews here, and today Nettie Wray is joining us. Welcome, Nettie.
Good afternoon.
We are here going to talk with Nettie. Nettie is one of our students. She's been with us for, I don't know, how many years have you been working with us?
2.
For 2 years now. And she was a student and she is one of our regulars, but now she is starting her own company. So we thought it would be great to get a viewpoint from somebody who's just in the beginning process, somebody who's never done this before, but is taking the step from being a learner and a student to someone who will own their own business. So your business is going to be called what, Nettie?
Switching Gears Outpost.
And right now, people can find you on Facebook under that name, correct?
Yes.
Okay. We have the Facebook page set up, and she is in the process of getting her business name and tax license.
I just got the email saying I was approved for my business name.
That's great. So next step will be a tax license here for the state of Pennsylvania that she's in. But Nettie, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you've decided to start your business?
Well, it was something that was in the back of my mind when I would post things and they would just, people were like, can I buy that?
Mm-hmm.
Or when I was walking around and someone just bought it off my neck. I mean,
you like when that happens?
Which is a nice feeling.
Right. Means you're making progress.
Right. So that was pretty cool. So I'm not sure if it's just to make it a little bit easier, even though it's a little bit harder right here with the paperwork. At the beginning. And the startup costs.
Right.
Of there's nickel and diming to death. Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Right.
But I didn't want, but I was also afraid to stick my neck out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I forced myself. That was going to be my goal this year. I'm lagging a little, but I'm getting caught up.
You're getting there, yeah.
I don't want any type of fear to hold me back from anything.
Right. Well, that's good. We've known you for quite a while here, and we kind of know your style, but why don't you let our listeners know what is your style? What would you say your forte is?
Oh, I love working with leather.
Okay.
That's like my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can throw some gears on there, I am ecstatic. Maybe
so
a few
bit
keys.
Of steampunk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Steampunk leather. But I think I'm still experimenting because I like learning new things. Mm-hmm. The wire wrapping, like the Tree of Life, because I took the class from Jen.
Right. Jen Tushong, who you can hear on episode 5 of our podcast.
Right. And then the poly clay with Christy. I can never.
Friesen.
Thank you, because I am terrible
love
at pronouncing.
Christy Friesen.
Yes, she's awesome. She's a great instructor. So I like experimenting with different things. So I think I'm fine-tuning my style.
Okay.
But it's more of like, it's definitely rustic for what I like to make.
Right.
Sometimes
you always get commissions.
Right? Yeah, I get the commissions. And then I'm like, okay. And God help me if someone throws something out there in pink.
We know you're not a fan of pink.
No, I don't know why. It just freaks me out. But, like more like a rustic boho Western. Yeah. Steampunk. I'm out there.
All of that. Yeah. Great. So I know the reason you're switching gears Outpost and not necessarily jewelry, or because you're hoping that maybe your family might get more involved in some of this too. Yeah, my mom paints, actually. Okay. She just did me an oil painting of a fox in the snow looking up. It was gorgeous. Which she's always done painting. Mm-hmm. That's been her thing. Yeah. And I think she worked with Jamie Cooper here in town, right? Yes, she took private lessons, yeah, to get back in the thing of it. Because she used to do it when she was younger. Right. And matter of fact, I remember one summer we stayed in Arizona and she painted like scorpions and stuff on rocks and sold them out of my grandpa's gas station. Oh, wow. So, yeah. So we're hoping to get maybe some of her things in the store? Yes, her things. And then she also makes Afghans. And then my son-in-law is been making like wood stuff. Like for Halloween, the stuff he made for decorations out of wood was just amazing. Okay. So and these are rustic type items too. They're we all luckily we all rustic, we all kind of have the same vibe going on. Okay. So it may turn into a family thing too.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's going to keep growing. I mean, right now, like I don't even have the Facebook store set up because you have to have a tax ID.
Right.
And to get a tax ID, you have to have a fictitious name.
That's right. That's right.
So that part's not there. But slowly but surely, I think I'll get everything together. So hopefully by the new year, it'll be more fine-tuned. And I'm still building up product.
Yeah.
It seems to sell as soon as I post it.
There's no problem with that.
No.
Except you don't have inventory.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll ask you, like we ask most of our people here, who or what are some of your biggest inspirations in life? In art, in life, in general?
Well, for beating actually Zach, he was the one who introduced me to all of this.
Okay.
I took a lesson from him, my very first lesson, which was at Michael's. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we teach classes at Allegory Gallery in town.
For those who don't know, Zach was a teacher with us up until about a month ago or so. He spent a few years teaching with us, and now he has his own business and is off on his own.
Mm-hmm. And doing
working
great.
on getting into school.
He's a big pusher, too. So are you, for that matter. They're cracking that whip.
That's right.
But, and then
So what about his work inspires you? Or is it his way of work? What about it, or him and his business inspires you?
I think it's his drive.
Okay.
I mean, the man has a lot of energy. I have no clue.
He is young.
that could be it, yeah.
That helps.
And so he'll have me come over sometimes, and he teaches me new things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost everything I've learned has been from him.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah. So I don't really know inspiration.
Yeah.
Following his footsteps. If it's working, don't break it.
Right. Except you got to break those barriers to get into your business life.
Right. And it's funny because his style is so different than mine.
Very different.
It's extremely different.
But the thing I think that is important for people to know is that, like we teach in classes, a lot of people say they can't do it because they will look at somebody's and say, I could never make that. When really it's about the technical skills. Once you learn the skills, you can create anything from them. And so Zach was here to teach, and he taught you how to do certain things. Mm-hmm. But you still end up with two totally different products.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it's still the same skill behind them.
Right.
So if you're learning knotting or if you're learning wire work, you can use those skills in so many different ways.
Yeah. Yeah, wire wrapping and stuff like that. Yeah.
And that's what... I think that's what's interesting, and I think what people are sometimes afraid of is that they see these things that are produced and they say, I could never do that. But once you learn the skills, you may not want to do that. You may want to do something else.
That's true. Mm-hmm. It's like, because I veered off into leather.
Yes.
And knotting and stuff like that.
Yeah. And Allison, our teacher here, does a lot of the knotting and leather work.
Allison was a great help with that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you have any favorite artists, musical artists, painters, writers? I know you read a lot.
I read a ton.
You're an avid reader.
It's more of an addiction.
Kindle books like crazy.
You should see my Goodreads. I've bypassed that 50 book limit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for the year. That was a long time ago.
So who are your favorite artists?
Like artists for like books?
Whichever. Mm. Who inspires you? Who do you like to read in your spare time? A little bit of spare time.
I flip back and forth because I like paranormal, sci-fi. Surprisingly, I don't read a lot of steampunk, but maybe that's because of the science fiction part of it. You know, like Anne McCaffrey.
Okay.
Dragon Riders of Pern. Mm-hmm. That's like my favorite series. One of my favorite series. Right now, I'm on a Haley Edwards kick.
Okay.
And her books are amazing. The Beginner's Guide to Necromancy.
Oh, okay.
I can spell words, not say them. But I'm emotionally invested in her house. I am.
Oh, you've told me about that one. That's the house.
I cried at the third book. It was terrible. But for inspiration, well, sometimes I'll listen to like a book while I'm working on something. Sometimes I watch TV, but it can't really be anything where you have to pay attention.
Right.
You know.
We all have that background TV or background music we do.
Yeah. Firefly. Yeah, that one I've got memorized.
Yeah.
I don't even have to look at it anymore.
So we know you bead, we know you read. What other things do you do or enjoy doing in your spare time?
When I was younger, I used to barrel race.
Okay.
And stuff like that. Then I had kids, and I had to make a choice, feed the kids, feed the horse. So I got rid of the horse because that seemed like it was more appropriate. Although I probably would have got more money for the kids.
Yeah, right.
So now mostly I work. Oh, I'm a grandparent for the very first time.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about that.
Lacey Ann. She's so cute. She got 2 teeth.
Nice. Starting to come in.
Yeah. I brought her into the bead store. She's got excellent taste. She grabbed a hold of an $80 strand of tourmaline and did not want to let go at all.
There we go.
But yeah, just mostly work, and I take my jewelry with me.
Okay.
Like I have a little, for me, because I drive a charter bus.
Okay.
So a lot of times when we like say I have a casino run, you'll take them to the casino. Sometimes I'll be sitting there 5 to 7 hours.
Oh, waiting for them
to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am not spending 7 hours inside of a casino.
That's dangerous, right? Yeah.
I mean, they give you $20 free play and a meal ticket. That's it. So I'll take for that kind of stuff, I have a leather bag kit that I keep ready.
Okay.
Because then I'm usually knotting after every single bead, so I don't have to worry about them flying all over. I made that mistake once. Do not do that again. That's really about all I do. I go geocaching. That's kind of fun. Mm-hmm. That's something you can do also, like beading. I mean, it doesn't matter what you're, like, some people come into class when I'm here too that have had like a stroke and they're trying to do things to
relearns.
I'm not going to name names because I don't want her to kill me.
No, I mean, but people do that. And we've had a lot of people come in over the years that they want to refine their motor skills again.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like something anyone can do. And geocaching is like that. Mm-hmm. You can just drive the park and grab, hobble out, and then come back again. Mm-hmm. So, man, I'm kind of boring.
I don't think so. It sounds like you're doing a lot. You're doing a lot of reading. You watch some TV series. You do a lot of jewelry. You fit jewelry into your day job.
Yeah, I do. Because it makes me happy. Mm-hmm. I like making things.
Yeah.
I do.
So you told me a little bit about you're going to try and get into some shows starting next year once your business is all solidified. What or where do you hope to be? So
I was checking out the Steampunk Festival in New Freedom.
Okay.
It's not that big, but it's not really expensive. It's one day. Mm-hmm. It would be an easy one to test the waters.
Right.
Because I love steampunk. Everything goes.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But my stuff is not as elaborate as some of them are. The biggest thing for me was, like, if we could figure out a way to put corsets back, leather ones preferably, I would be ecstatic. But it's a little over the top. And some of the steampunk jewelry is too much for everyday wear.
Right. So
that's what I try and throw into my jewelry, is just a hint of steampunk.
So it's an everyday steampunk.
Yeah, so you can still have your love of steampunk, and then, you know, you can wear it every day and not have people look at you like you're a freak. So, anyway, so that one in New Freedom I would like to try. That's in August. They even have a fairy. They have 3 big ones that they do. Yeah. So, hopefully, I will have... If people,
that's the next thing we're going to push you to.
Yeah, I probably need that too. Self-doubt is a terrible thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. So we always ask, you are the first person we've had that has not already had their business started. Mm-hmm. So you're going through this process. You're a mother, you're a grandmother, you're still working a regular, real job, as we call them. What words of advice would you have for people who are, as you're kind of doing on the side, trying to start a business that fulfills a passion of theirs? So what are your words of advice for them? What would you say to them if somebody said, I don't have the time, or I don't know where to get started? What would you say?
If you can find someone to kind of mentor you that's already done the steps and is even just moderately successful, that is good. If they're willing, to give you the time,
Right.
Because it is a lot of work. But that cuts out a lot of the mishaps
Right.
that you might make.
Right.
So like with Zach, he's already just done these things. So I'm kind of following in his footsteps,
Right.
a model. It helps if you write everything down. I have not.
Uh-huh.
I kind of wing things. It's not a good business plan.
No. Well, I will say, just for you and for our listeners, there is an organization called SCORE Mentors. And SCORE Mentors, if people don't know, we were one of their champions for 2018 for American Small Business. And they are an organization of generally retired CEOs and business people who are donating their time to help people get their businesses running and also educate them and mentor them along the way. So if you check them out, it's SCORE Mentors. They are on Facebook. They have a website. They also have many, many local chapters. So there's one right here in Greensburg for us.
Oh, wow.
So if you were ever interested, check out their Greensburg site. And they're insanely helpful. They will help you develop a business plan. They will help you file for your name. And they can even help you get in touch with the SBA, the Small Business Association, for loans and things like that. So they will find you somebody that they will pair you with, and they will push you along and get you to write up your business plan or write up your budget. And then you check in with them every once in a while, and they keep pushing you forward in the right way because they've been there and they've done that. So,
and that's always better than just trying to wing it on your own.
Oh, yeah. Like we kind of did. I mean, we've been, knock on wood, very lucky, and we're glad that we can have people who come in and start as students and start their own businesses. I mean, we've had you, we've had Zach, our neighbor Carol, and there are a lot more people I know that are selling under their names. They haven't had to go through the official in Pennsylvania fictitious name, but they are selling under their name in a lot of different small town shops. So whether it's in their area or within ours, there are a few here in Ligonier that I know people sell in, that they've started here, they've learned what they've learned, and they've moved on to doing their own. So we like to see that, and we're glad we could be here to do that. And
which is why I keep coming back.
Which is right.
And then I say, William, what does this mean?
Exactly. That's what we're here for, as much as we can. So with that, I guess we'll say a goodbye. Do you want to remind people how they can find you? You are on Facebook?
Yes, I am.
And Switching Gears is also, I believe, on Instagram now.
Yeah, but Instagram, weird note, you only allowed like 20 letters. Yes. So I had to cut an S out. So instead of, it's Switching Gear Outpost. Okay. Instead of the S, Switching Gears Outpost.
Yeah, Twitter is the same, I think.
Yeah.
They only allow
so is Etsy.
Yeah, well, your name's a little too long by one letter, apparently. So Switching Gear Outpost on Instagram, Switching Gears Outpost on Facebook. Okay. Well, Nettie, thanks for joining us, and we hope that our people have learned something from you, and we look forward to checking back with you and see how your progress is going.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.